You're about to hear something most people never learn until it's too late. And if you're over 40, over 50, or even just thinking about your future, what you're about to discover will change the way you look at aging forever. Because here's the truth: 1 decade, just 10 years, will determine the quality of the rest of your life. And almost nobody prepares for it. So before you scroll, before you move on, listen carefully. Your future self is begging you to hear this. The fall. The moment everything changes, there's a moment in life when things shift. Not gradually. Not slowly. But suddenly, like stepping off a cliff you never saw coming. Doctors call it the marginal decade. It usually hits around age 75. And when it arrives, your strength, your independence, your mobility, all of it, can drop by nearly half. Half your power. Half your freedom. Half your ability to live life on your terms. You've seen it. A parent struggling just to get out of a chair. Someone who used to walk fast now moving carefully, holding walls, avoiding stairs. A once sharp mind becoming cloudy, tired, overwhelmed. And you think, does it really have to be this way? Here's the part no one tells you: backhand index pointing right, the cliff is unavoidable. Backhand index pointing right, but how you land is 100% in your control. That's the mission, not to stop the marginal decade, but to make it the best decade you've ever lived. Training for the life you want. Longevity isn't luck. It's not genetics. It's a sport. And whether you're 45 or 65, you're already training for the most important competition of your entire existence, the competition for a life that stays yours. Doctors often ignore this. But the data is brutally clear: your fitness level is one of the strongest predictors of how long, and how well, you will live. Not your cholesterol. Not your blood pressure. Not the numbers you hear every year at checkups. Fitness. Strength. Mobility. Cardio capacity. These are the real indicators. The real measurements of your future independence. One test rises above them all: VO2 max, your life's engine. It's the measurement of how well your body uses oxygen. How powerful your internal engine is. How much stress you can handle before your body hits its limit. People with a high VO2 max don't just live longer, they live better. They stay active. They stay sharp. They stay capable. And the good news? You can improve it at any age. Even starting in your 60s or 70s. It's one of the most trainable systems in the human body. This is why some longevity experts treat exercise like medicine, because it is. A prescription with no downsides. A therapy you can start today. A treatment proven to extend life, protect the brain, and slow decline. You don't need 10 hours a week. You don't need to be an athlete. You need consistency. Intensity. Purpose. Because every workout you do today is a gift to the version of you who will exist tomorrow. A new model of medicine, before it's too late. Traditional medicine works like a fire extinguisher: wait for the flames, then try to put them out. That's medicine 2.0. But by the time the symptoms start, the decline has already set in. Damage has already built quietly for years. The new model, medicine 3.0, flips everything. It doesn't wait for disease. It hunts for it. years before it shows up. It uses the same tools you've heard of, blood work, scans, tests, but in ways that reveal problems decades before they explode. Take the DEXA scan. A simple test. Cheap. Fast. Yet most women don't get one until age 65. Just imagine that, going decades without knowing whether your bones are strong or slowly becoming fragile. Or preventive MRI. Expensive? Yes. But finding something early can be the difference between a small problem and a life-changing crisis. Of course, prevention has a cost, not always in money, but in emotion. Tests can reveal things that are harmless, but terrifying. False alarms. Extra scans. Moments of fear. So you have to ask yourself, what's more frightening, knowing early, or discovering too late? This is medicine for people who want the truth before the truth becomes a problem. The role of genetics, knowing your odds. There's a gene called APO. It can reveal how likely you are to develop Alzheimer's. Most people prefer not to know. Because information can be uncomfortable. But information can also be the difference between preparing early and being caught off guard. Actor Chris Hemsworth took the test in 2019. He discovered he had a significantly higher risk than average. Instead of panicking, he changed his habits, his training, his approach to health. Knowledge didn't scare him. It empowered him. And it can do the same for you. Nutrition, the most misunderstood piece of longevity. Most people think aging is about wrinkles, or slowing down, or getting old. But real aging happens inside your muscles. Lose muscle, and you lose strength. Lose strength, and you lose independence. Lose independence, and your world becomes smaller. That's why protein matters more than you think. More than any official guideline suggests. Your body needs protein to protect your muscle mass, one of the clearest predictors of lifespan. Some longevity experts even experiment with drugs like rapamycin, a compound that extends life in mice. But even then, the message is clear, there is no magic pill. There is only strategy. Adjustment. Disciplined experimentation. Longevity is built not from one decision but from thousands. The part almost everyone ignores, your emotional health. Now here's where everything comes together, the part of longevity almost nobody talks about. Because what good is living longer if you're miserable? Isolated? Disconnected? Numb to your own life? Your emotional health influences your lifespan just as powerfully as your muscles or your heart. People with strong relationships don't just feel happier, they statistically live longer. Not a coincidence. Not a correlation. A cause. Connection heals. Isolation breaks. Loneliness accelerates decline faster than almost any medical condition. And healing isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's relational. The strongest people you know aren't the ones who never struggled, they're the ones who kept going. The final message, your future is built now. Aging happens to everyone. Decline doesn't. You can fight back. You can prepare. You can train your body and strengthen your mind for the decade that will define your life. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need unlimited time or money or resources. You need willingness. Curiosity. Persistence. Because the difference between being 80 and thriving, versus being 80 and trapped inside a body that no longer cooperates, is decided by what you do right now. You're training for a life you'll be proud to live. Not later. Not someday. Today. And the only question left is, when the marginal decade arrives, how do you want to live it? The future is not promised. But the capacity to shape it is still in your hands. Start now. Your last decade, your strongest decade, begins today.